ES Audio. From the Evening Standard in London, I'm Rachel Abbott and this is The Leader. Today we're giving you some bonus content taken from our business show, How to Be a CEO. It's an opportunity to hear from the most powerful people behind some of the world's biggest brands. This is actually a cut-down version of the full episode. To hear the full thing, you'll need to hit the link in the show notes. Find a new episode of How to Be a CEO every Monday morning, and why not give it a rate, review, and follow whilst you're there. Now, let's begin.
eBay and Love Island. There's a match you probably didn't see coming.
Love Island is a really interesting one. I don't think anyone expected us to show up in that place. And no one expected Love Islanders a few seasons ago to be wearing used items.
Murray Lambell is the boss of eBay in the UK, vice president and general manager to give him his full title. A man whose job is to keep a company founded right at the start of the internet relevant to today's customers and businesses.
The thing I love most about my job is the times that I spend every week out there talking with our customers, and in particular with our business customers, because the entrepreneurship and the passion they've got behind their businesses is just incredible.
I'm David Marsden from the Evening Standard, and this is How to Be a CEO. What's the best deal you've ever had on eBay? If you have one, what's the best deal you've ever had on eBay?
So many of the hundreds of items that I've bought over the years. My favourite ever item that I bought was actually about 10 years ago. I bought an office chair. It was an Eames office chair in London from a refurbished. It was like an office refurb, and it was being sold on eBay at a bargain basement price. But 10 years ago, shipping an item was not as easy as it is now. And so I had to order a taxi to drive halfway across London to bring it back to my house. It ended up costing probably 3 times of what the chair cost. I remember it was just disproportionately expensive, and I was like, maybe that wasn't such a good idea. And then during the pandemic, for different reasons, I no longer had that chair and I needed to buy another one. And actually I found the same seller, bought the same chair, and I had it shipped to me for 10 quid. So that was kind of how the world has changed. And that was kind of a nice story for me. That seller was still around. I was able to get that chair. And yeah, I sit on it most days when I'm working from home.
eBay has been, it was one of the pioneers of the entire internet. I think eBay was the first company to have a forum, for example, where people could exchange their ideas and complain about each other, I think. How does a company like eBay, though, stay at the forefront? How do you stay relevant with increasing competition and other sites coming out?
I think what's incredible about eBay, as you say, it's been around in the UK for over 20 years. And it's unbelievable that the business now is one that has transformed many times. I've been working there for over a decade. And in that time, the business has evolved and changed. So starting off from being a fairly niche consumer selling site, I've got something fairly niche that I need to get rid of, to the business which still has a very big component of that. So loved inventory or stuff that people have got that they are trying to find a new home for, to a massive bit of businesses now running, selling a broad range of items that they have. And the way I think that it's stayed relevant is fundamentally, people love that marketplace experience. They love to trade, buyers and sellers. There's a whole thing about getting a bargain, and a bargain doesn't always mean cheap. A bargain often means unique or different. And all of those things are just fundamental to how consumers love to shop. When I talk to people who love the shopping experience, they love to shop in different cities because they find something different. And a marketplace brings that right into your living room that you can live every day. And then within that, you have to continually shift and evolve your experience. So what consumers demand now is just a very different set of demands from 20 years ago. And it's our job as a team to be really close to customers, buyers and sellers, and continue to evolve. So things like the eBay Money Back Guarantee program, which has been around for over a decade now, is all about how do you build trust in that forum when actually the buyer and the seller can't reach an agreement. Right now, in the last 2 years, we've launched the authentication guarantee, which is on high-priced inventory in specific categories. You have that item authenticated by eBay, which is like another level of that money-back guarantee. And so our job as a team, I think, is to listen very closely to the customer. And the last point I'd say is let the marketplace evolve. So let customers, buyers and sellers tell you what they need, because it's a dynamic and a living thing, and we don't control everything that happens. We're there to help provide a framework and a setup to enable those businesses, consumers and buyers to thrive.
Right, let's go to a quick ad break. Why not leave us a review and rate whilst you're here? You can also find us on Twitter under the hashtag HowToBeACEO.
We've got the arrival now of Gen Z, or Gen Z if you want to be a traditionalist. They're just coming into the workplace now. They've got some spending money behind them. How are they forcing the evolution of eBay? What sort of things are they looking for? How is the site changing for them?
The big shift that we've seen, which was a theme before COVID and kind of went away for a little bit, is I want to buy more sustainably, and I'm very thoughtful about that. And even as recently as 5 years ago, selling used and buying used and showing that you bought a used item was somehow not seen as credible or cool, if you like, for a consumer. And I think that's just massively changed because people are aware of the massive damage that production of new goods caused environmentally in terms of particularly energy usage and impact. Whereas if you extend the life of a product, then that has an exponentially better environmental impact. And so products don't go on forever, but you can extend their life. In the UK, that's some incredible statistic, like over 75% of mobile phones still go to landfill. And if each of those mobile phones could be used for 3, 6, 9 months longer than they would have otherwise been used, that massively changes the amount of production of goods, and that's a good thing. And so what we've seen is consumers much more demanding of that inventory. And whether that comes from people like you or me selling our own stuff, or businesses that want to provide that, so bringing in returns, making sure that those return goods are resold, and much more thoughtful of that supply chain. I still think we've got a long way to go working with businesses to enable that. I think consumers are already there and are demanding it, and eBay is highly relevant in that context.
Yeah, and trying to keep yourself relevant by doing things like your partnership with ITV's Love Island, for example. I mean, that's really hitting your target demographic, isn't it?
Love Island is a really interesting one. I don't think anyone expected us to show up in that place. And no one expected Love Islanders a few seasons ago to be wearing used items. The beauty of it is that what you're showing is that you can have style, and that style can be sometimes controversial and can sometimes be mainstream depending on how you look at it. And the point is that you don't need to always buy new. There are ways in which you can think about your consumption in a very different way. And there's a very big value element to it as well. Buying newly produced goods is exponentially expensive. And we're in a climate, we know, economically, where things look challenging. They are challenging. Cost of living is challenging. Why shouldn't you be able to be kind to the environment and also get great value for money? A little while ago, I was at a forum among other kind of business partners, and there was a very patronising conversation to say, well, actually, if we've got economic challenges, then people can't be thoughtful about the environment anymore. And I totally disagree with that principle. I think that you can think about your consumption and also be very environmentally friendly, and the two should go hand in hand, and that's really what we want to be about.
Who's your competitor in the modern age of eBay? Is it other online stores, or is it that bricks and mortar stores, those ones that, you know, we were talking about fast fashion earlier on? Is it that kind of commercial rival that you have? Who are you looking at to try and stay ahead?
In many ways, you're an enabler of commerce and business. So it's not like I can point to say, well, it's competitor A, competitor B, competitor C. It's you provide solutions to enable online retailing to work in the UK. So we work with many large, high-profile fashion brands. In our brand outlet, for example, we have over 200 brands. Many of those brands don't sell directly on eBay. What they do is they use reselling partners, who are these small to medium businesses we talked about, to fulfill those orders and service those customers, because the large retailers don't want to play in that particular space. It doesn't work with their organizational structure, the employees that they've got, whereas small businesses can service that really well. Me and my team's job is to be the partner of retail, whether that's micro businesses or very large retail, to enable them to unlock the demand. eBay has over half of the UK shopping population shop on our platform every month. That's a massive amount of demand that comes through the door. How do we unlock the keys to that demand for as many retailers as possible, however you define yourself as a retailer?
You said you've been in eBay for quite a while.
I know.
Now, a little bit. How did you get there in the first place? I mean, why join eBay? Was it the name it is now?
It definitely wasn't the name. I remember being approached about a job at eBay, and I was thinking that sounds weird until I went in to meet the team. So my parents ran their own business. They had their own small business, and I was always very aware of the challenges of running a small business, and so therefore there was a kind of a nice unity between having grown up in that environment and then seen how the challenges of providing services and solutions through an eBay or a platform lens. The other way that I think about eBay is that the bit that I want to always instill in our team is that we are in service to the customers that we have. We're a service provider. So before eBay, I worked in the airline industry. I worked for British Airways. I loved that business because it was all about service. The principle was to fly to serve, right? You're there to provide service to customers, and that's what I very much believe eBay is about. We're a service solution, and we need to look at ourselves in that way. We need to be very humble in the face of what our businesses and consumer sellers face, and we need to provide excellent service to the buyers and facilitate our businesses to do that. And I just love that principle. It kind of that's what motivates me to do my job.
That was Murray Lambell from eBay. You can get more interviews, news and analysis at standard.co.uk/business or pick up the Evening Standard newspaper. How to Be a CEO will be back first thing on Monday morning. I'll see you then.